game, don't play with my name. You come with your goons, I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show, I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started out.
Let's go. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today it's week 4 and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. It's 3-0 versus 2-1, a good early season battle as we're underway in week 4. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run here with Raheem Mostert. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st, Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. Swings this out here for Cohen.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. This is intercepted. Picked up by Harrison Smith.
And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Cousins to throw it. Open here, Adam Thielen.
Down inside the 10.
Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Vikings use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, Everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. The Saints had 2-1 now to start the campaign, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen, and he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings' 43-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On the sneak, it's Bridgewater. And he is going to have a Saints first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. With Mostert up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Following the interception, Cousins. It's caught, Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Third and short yardage, Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe of the 49. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be taken down, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Now Cousins. Under
pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Fourth down, Cousins. Hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th, and the Saints will have the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
On 2nd and 9, Bridgewater over the middle, complete. That's Johnson. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Up the middle they go with Mostert.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Room here to run. 20. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the deep. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
There's a reason inside linebackers are often captains of a defense. They call the signals. They have the opportunity to affect the game in coverage, against the run, and, of course, on blitzes. Living in the best of both worlds here. Already has an interception. Now he gets to record a sack, too.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
On 2nd and goal, Hill, touchdown, Saints. Michael Thomas from 4 yards out. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. That is caught by Thielen. And he's tackled at the 38, but they doubled their yardage. The play started at the 19, and they gained 19. And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Throwing, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long, because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th.
They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted.
Picked up by Marshawn Lattimore.
And the Saints will take over possession here up at the 44.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Have a great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal. They'll certainly have the green light here. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out, got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
Cousins gives way to Cook, and he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Cousins now from the 50. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
They're just going to run it here up the middle. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
Now 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Adam Thielen, a terrific wide receiver and synonymous with Minnesota football. You go back to high school, college ball in the state, and now his 9th season with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 touchdown catches last season, makes a nice catch there.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Here's Cousins. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Marcus Davenport coming in to drop it for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Here's Jordan Berry now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Jet sweep. Here's Olave. They find some open field here. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
102 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. On 2nd down, Mostert. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
Throwing on 3rd down, Hill. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. It's a squib kick that still makes its way down inside the 15. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Now Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They'll throw again. Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be ridden out of bounds all the way down at the 15-yard line. A big play there out of Cook, 46 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Cousins to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
And the Saints are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cullen. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And they'll get him down up past the 15.
112 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. A run between the tackles with Cohen, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lock behind it. Wow. And this will do the job nicely as that'll be out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now this throw caught left side. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Play fake. Cousins.
Looks again for T.J. Hockenson, and he's got him again.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Play action. Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked on by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Here's Hill. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, wide open, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans.
Chris Olave
with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Saints are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Cousins now. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. They'll set up to throw.
Got an open man, finding Jefferson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
To throw, Cousins. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby.
And the Saints are going to take over at their own 41.
Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So this one a victory here